Alright, welcome to the show. It's the fight before Christmas and it's the final day. It's a best of 5 in the semifinals. And of course, one of these players will move on to the grand finals where they will fight for what is upwards of, well, I guess not upwards, but exactly $2,000 for first place. $1,000 for second, and of course it trickles down a little bit from there, with third and fourth place matches being worth $500 and $300 respectively. Spawning here in the top right corner of the map, though, playing for Samsung Galaxy, it's going to be the green Zerg player, Samsung Solar.
In the bottom left, as the red Zerg, he's Axiom's Impact.
Alright, Zombie Grub. This isn't the first time we've seen these two tango. I doubt it'll be the last. For those who don't know, the last time we got to see these two was in the Alima League. And I kept confusing, I believe it was Solar for True and Impact for True and the other way around and this, that, the other. But we recently had the November finals and Solar versus Impact played in the semifinals where it was once again a best of 5. That time around, Solar beat Impact 3-0, but this was still in consideration with the fact that it was before the GSL qualifiers, it was before a lot of other big things were taken off, and we really don't know if Impact was trying to maybe hide anything or play his best. But I mean, Solar taking Impact with a 3-0 really did surprise me back then. Do you think there's any chance of that repeat for this time round?
It seems to depend on what Impact decided to do, because that 3-0 wasn't like just like a straight up Roach versus Roach game every single game.
Yeah.
2 games were kind of weird all-ins. One was a Spine Crawler Rush with a like 8 pool or something, and the second one was a Ling all-in, Ling Flood, after a gas expand, which isn't like that odd, but it is an all-in, you know, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, you're not gonna win.
And I think it was a 10 pool, just a side note. I only bring this up because I've actually seen Solar lose to that exact build before. Suppy actually pulled it off 2 times in a row, back-to-back against him back in the days of Zotac. But, yeah, so yeah, it was definitely a stranger matchup, and that's why I kind of bring up the fact, like, maybe he didn't want to show something when you go for those weird sort of builds. At the same time, it could have been Impact. I mean, he is a very creative player, not like hashtag TLO creative, but definitely plays a very different style. You know, he'll be the guy who runs 2 Bailings into a third while distracting the Roaches at the natural. I mean, we see him do cool things with ZVZ. I guess the question for today is, you know, does he have anything he wants to high builds for, or does he want the money? Because there's a lot of money, again. I mean, at this point, just by making it to the semifinals, these guys walk away with $300 no matter what. That's the 4th place finish. But, of course, $500 for third and up and up and up to $2,000 for first. I mean, you gotta go for the gold, so to speak. Literally.
Yeah, it's not so to speak. Well, I guess, you know,
I mean, we're not paying them in gold, unless we pay them in gold
we're not
equivalent
them,
to the prize.
We're not giving them a gold, like, you know, medallion either.
Here's the nugget.
I don't know. You get like those like gold flakes you get at like I should know if Canada. Well, Canada has to have like old time towns, right?
Yeah, I know. There's Britannia mines and all these other things.
Okay, good.
Sifting through the sands. Exactly. Nice scout there, by the way, out of Impact. He gets a full scout on the base and gets out alive. Well, maybe for now. We'll see if those lings die. But I mean, if there's one thing American TV has taught me, it's that I should sell my gold for cash. Gold for cash, right? So maybe we could turn that around and make it cash for gold. Ugh.
Yeah, but we don't have any gold.
That's what I'm saying. These people who are selling their gold for the cash, we give them the cash equivalent to the prize pool, and then mail these guys gold. I mean, no other tournament does it that way.
Yeah, they can bury it in their backyard if they're like really super paranoid.
You're like, Crank, stay away from my prize winnings.
Yeah. The backyard of the apartment that they share with everyone. Yeah.
You know what would happen though? If that actually was the case, so we did send Impact like first place prize and like gold nuggets, like Olivia would just look at that and sigh, and she'd just like shake her head.
Not even like a outrage or like
just like, yeah,
anything else,
just
disappointment in us.
It'd be a Holly Molly moment, you know, just one of those. Shout out to Olivia if she is watching. Hopefully she is cheering on her boy here. But speaking of which, Impact's the one who's going to be going for the big Ling attack here. So a little bit later than we would have expected. We always talk about how it's usually the 5.5 inject where you start cutting drones and begin making Lings. But coming up here in 6.5 minutes, he's certainly going to have a lot to work with.
Yeah.
I guess the upside is with his second scout. He saw there wasn't much of a wall, though, for Solar.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we sometimes see the, you know, a player make like 20 Lings. We know there's nothing going on, and they'll just do that and expand behind it. So a little bit of pressure and of course all that map control that you get. But this has exceeded that. This is just a lot.
This is 42 Zerglings coming up against somebody who doesn't even have a Baneling nest. This is 42 Zerglings coming against what is a small handful of roaches. Solar is going to panic and put a wall down. He tries to get this, but it's so low. Solar's got a lot, or Impact's got a lot of surface area on this. He should be able to tear this down. Breaks right through it. Now Solar's in, quite frankly, a bit of trouble.
Yeah. This is working out really well, like really super well. Solar, every single roach that's gonna pop out is gonna get surrounded. He might just, I don't know, 7 roaches in the way, is that even gonna be enough? I was gonna say maybe like persistence, he might like clean it up, but he'll lose so many drones.
Good game. All right, a very decisive game out of Impact.